Like to welcome aboard head coach of your Dallas Cowboys, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds, Mike McCarthy. Welcome aboard, Coach. How's your morning going?
It's going great. Good morning. Thank you for the tacos.
Well,
You're welcome, Coach.
Figure with all the things that are going on in life, a nice little taco kind of brightens your day. We're doing the same thing around here. It is breakfast with R&R. So, Coach, protocols back in play. Is this just the same thing, the rigor over and over again, or are you getting good at this? Is it comfortable now?
I think we clearly understand it better, and I think it was a focus for us as a staff coming out of last year that we wanted to be better in the virtual teaching space, and I really feel like we accomplished that throughout the spring and the few times that we had to use it this year. So I feel good about our ability to shift gears. We got the word, I think it was right around when we got done with the players yesterday. So we stayed here last night, put us in the virtual mode. So I feel good that we'll finish our prep and still get our work on the field in, and we'll be ready to go.
What are the what are the biggest differences in virtual and in person, or is there no difference, Coach?
Oh, it's definitely different.
Okay.
I think you clearly have to. I think that's the experience of how do you. It's all about connection and with your communication. So, and I think that's obviously easier to do in person. We all have more experience with it, in person. I think the younger generation was obviously a lot more equipped,
yeah,
understanding, and they thrive in the virtual world. So I think for the older coaches, me particularly, that it was definitely an adjustment and something that I had to take a close look at coming out of last year because I felt we didn't do a good enough job in the virtual space last year.
Mike McCarthy joining us here on San Antonio Sports Star for his weekly gathering. Well, as we look forward to a Giant team, there's a couple things that have certainly been newsworthy all week long, and certainly the talk of Dak. Slump, not a slump, what's going on? How do you deal with that when you're dealing with a quarterback that's going through a bit of adversity? Is it something you talk about, or is it like a no-hitter? Let's just go to work and get through it.
Well, you keep working on yourself. I mean, that's why they call it self-scout. That's a process we go through every Monday. So, I mean, the most important thing that we need to stay focused on is to keep our process the same and consistent, and make sure that when we do our evaluation, and that the result of the game doesn't factor into the true evaluation, because this is December football. Our ability to play with fundamentals and technique at our highest level, that's what's going to win this time of year, especially going forward. So that's really the focus. And I don't know how well you know Dak. I mean, one thing, he is extremely driven and disciplined in his work ethic and how he approaches improving every single day. So he's so competitive. You just got to keep working. It's a long year, and hey, we accept the fact that we set a standard of performance. It hasn't quite been there, the last few weeks, and hey, we're all about it ourselves too. So it's great to have reminders from you lovely people out there.
You're very welcome, Coach. We're glad we're here to help.
Hey, we're all in this together. We all want to.
You see, that's what I was going to ask, Coach, because Saban calls it the rat poison. No one gives them a chance against Georgia. They go out and win. Like, in all seriousness, how do you, as the leader of the team, how do you keep the rat poison out? Like, y'all aren't going to let the media make y'all feel like y'all aren't a good football team, right?
Well, I think it's important. Everybody talks about culture and developing culture, but which I feel like we've done a good job, and it's a very, very healthy, accountable locker room. I mean, these guys generally like and care about one another, and they just have a really good energy and vibe to them. I mean, it was evident early. So the investment that they have, and how deep that these guys are into their commitment. These times don't really, they really don't even leave a dent, internally. But I think it's important to, understand it, especially when you work for the Dallas Cowboys. I mean,
right.
The light is a lot. There is no light brighter than
right.
the light of the Dallas Cowboys, and that's accepted responsibility. It's in all of our job descriptions, and I talk about it openly from day one. So I think our guys do a really good job keeping it all about winning, and as long as we do that, I think we're going to get to where we need to get to.
Coach, I think about myself at 21, 22, And if somebody was and if people were comparing me to Lawrence Taylor, you might have a hard time coaching me. How is Micah Parsons? How's Mike Parsons handling all this praise? I mean, when I heard Lawrence Taylor, because Rob started it over here, and he said Lawrence Taylor, and I about jumped over this table. How is Micah Parsons handling all this notoriety?
Well, I think there's been a while back we talked about our building blocks of our program, and humility is one of the six. So it's something that you have to have in life, especially in professional football, and especially here at the Dallas Cowboys. You have to keep things in perspective. He's young. Things are coming pretty naturally to him right now, and he's handling it very well. He's starting to do the young things that young players have to. He's starting to do the little things that young players have to learn, and I think as long as he continues to challenge himself and continue to grow, he'll handle all these things coming at him. But yeah, I mean, I like Micah's quotes. I mean, he clearly understands the relevance of Lawrence Taylor and all these great Hall of Fame players, and he's just a young man getting started.
He's still got to get the donuts though, right?
No. Oh yeah, no, he's a rookie now. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
And he accepts that. He handles that very well. I mean, I think that says a lot. I think it was 2 weeks ago. I called him. I called him to the middle of the team and had him do a breakdown. And I mean, it was almost like an emotional moment for him. He was blown away. So he has humility, and I think it serves him well going through these times of early success.
Now let's talk offensive line real quick. Is Terrence still going to be at your left tackle?
Well, we're working our combinations over there. I really don't want to get into the.
Oh man, I thought I'd slip that one in there. I thought there'd be. Oh yeah, of course.
But, hey, you took a shot.
You swing for the fences, coach. Now, honestly, with your offensive line, first of all, it's a bit of a blessing, right? I mean, you're getting some health back, other than Tyron, and you're able to move some guys around. So let's look at it on the positive side. Is you got the guys that you know what you're doing. These guys have been there before. But aren't you tired of having to deal with this week in and week out? And I'm sure
the continuity goal is always there, but injuries are part of the game, and I think it speaks to our offensive line group as a whole. I mean, we have guys that can play multiple positions, and that is huge, huge, because you have to win these kind of games. You have to find ways to win through injury phases of your football. It happens every year, and then by the way, we're in the middle of a pandemic, so it's the ultimate team game, and I just love this roster format that we're in because we have 84 players in the building, and and they're all invested, and it really helps us navigate these challenges.
When you look at your offensive line, do you see guys that play better together? I mean, if your left tackle changes, do you look at your right tackle and say, well, this other right tackle plays better with this other left tackle? You know what I mean? Is there combos that play better together, and does that go in to how you pick?
It's more the guard, the guard and tackles,
right?
That combination of the guard and center, that's definitely, because I mean,
that's my next question as to who's going to play left guard. I have to go there.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, it's we're, like you said, we're working all these guys. I mean,
okay.
We got Tyron's, not going to play this week, so we're just let's be honest. I mean, the way some of these games have gone, we got to make sure that our 8 guys that are up on Sunday, that everybody's training in 2 positions right now. Obviously except for Tyler. So we're just making sure we're ready to go here.
With 3-game lead, 4 to play, is as far as Tyron goes, like if this is a play, can he just not go, or if this was the playoffs, he'd be able to go?
I don't know if he could go this week. I know, hopefully by the beginning of next week we'll have more clarity on how long we think it's going to be. But no, this is obviously a real injury, and he's here around the clock treating it. So I mean, I know he's doing everything he can to get back out there.
And then Zeke talked about the knee brace, and it made him feel. He said it improved his health from you watching him at practice and on film. Coach, does it seem like he's a little bit more comfortable is just doing the Zeke type things with the knee brace?
Yeah, definitely. And you just got to I just have so much respect for Zeke, and just the way he goes about it. I mean, he's always doing the extra stuff. He's always working with Britt. He's always in the rehab, the weight room, and the things he does away from here. So I think he's clearly this week better than he's been the last 2 weeks. That would probably be a pretty good evaluation there. So I'm hoping we can turn the corner and move forward. Because it's obviously a long year. His running style is so physical. His blitz pickup and just his style of play. So I just think you try to be smart as you go through these challenges, and hopefully we can get Tony back and get back to the the flow that we had with both Zeke and Tony.
Yeah, let's talk Tony. Let's hope he gets back. There'd been some discussion, some thought that we haven't seen him in practice, and that was a late scratch and early on. What's his status, and are we waiting until Saturday, or do you expect him to play on Sunday?
Well, we had I don't have it right here in front of me. Like how many plays we had slated from yesterday. He took all those in practice. So
Nice.
So that's what that's what I'm looking for. So really see how he comes in today, and because I don't know if you've ever had plantar fascia. It's a tough one to deal with because you can't really get away from it. So so we'll see how he is today, and hopefully he didn't go backwards. After his work yesterday.
Coach, let's say best case scenario, clinch is in place. You got a couple of weeks before the playoffs begin. Is there a strategy involved with resting versus rust? Are you looking forward to who might get some extra time, or is it you got to keep everybody precision moving and we act as if the playoffs are still out of reach and we go to win every game till the end of the season?
Yeah, I don't think we're in that position really to have that conversation. I don't think we're going to be in position to really probably go down that line. I mean, I've always taken the approach and just learned this over the years, and I might even have to adjust my formula. But really, until you get to 10 wins, there's really not a whole lot of clarity on what's going to happen in front of you in the tournament. So, and hell, it may be 11 wins now, statistically with this 17-game season. So, and this is exactly how I talk to the team. So, I get everybody wants to talk about it, but you're really wasting your time. And let's get to 10 wins and then look around, and then I think this thing will line up for us exactly what we need to do. And we all know that if we win out, we're going to be in a very favorable position. So I mean that's being Captain Obvious. So I just try to keep it about getting this 10th win.
I think then you'll say 11. Coach, we don't have to go into details, but there's only 32 of you guys. There's only 32 of these jobs. And when you see in-season firings, what is coaches' takes on those type of things and how it affects the entire staff, the coaches' families? When you see in-season firings, how does that affect the other 31 guys around the league?
Yeah, definitely. I don't think any coach likes it when he sees another coach go through it, because I mean you understand the personal part of it, especially when you sit in this chair and all the responsibility that you have and all the people you feel you're responsible for. So that's definitely at the core of it. But it is a privilege. It is a privilege, and it's difficult to attain one of these opportunities. So I just think that for our profession, I think we all want to see guys do it the right way and succeed at that level. But it's part of our business. And I can just say from my own personal experience, I just if or when it happens, you just hope it's done the right way on both sides, because there's times where that's not the case.
Isn't that the truth? We're both in industries that we are here today and gone tomorrow. Yes. And just a thought later on. He is head coach Mike McCarthy of the Dallas Cowboys. I want to thank you for stopping by here on San Antonio Sports Star. We bid you good health, a good game, and we'll talk to you next week.
Okay, guys. Have a great weekend. Thank you.
You too, Coach.
Head coach Mike McCarthy stops by every week courtesy of AA Best Bail Bonds.